Hey everybody, welcome to episode 1 of our very first podcast. I am Jenna Lockhart.
I'm Lauren Mayer. We're so excited you guys are here and listening to us today.
So excited. So this has been on our vision board to start this podcast forever. And we're doing it. We're making it happen. So this is fitting in with the title of our podcast today too, because it's all about why the goals you're setting aren't getting you anywhere. And we're going to talk about how to change that, how to get to your goals. So we're going to start off and introduce ourselves. So like I said, I'm Jenna Lockhart. A little about me. I have been married to, if you're listening to the audio version and not watching the video, Lauren's like being my Vanna White.
Yeah.
But I'm Jenna Lockhart. I've been married to my high school sweetheart for about 4 years now. And I have no human children yet. We have a 9-year-old golden doodle named Oliver. And if you follow me on social media, you see him pretty consistently. And I am a full-time health and fitness coach. I was an elementary school teacher for 8 years, and now I am living my passion and helping others. So
I'm so freaking proud of her, first off, for doing that, because we have recently become best friends. When I say recently, it's been like a year and a half?
Yeah.
Or something since we've really been working together. But as of recent, like this summer, we've gotten really, really close. Like almost like best
Scary
friends. Like
close.
we've been friends for like years and years and years. So it's so funny how social media can bring you together.
Yeah.
But
and before you go on with that, I think it's crazy. We actually went to high school together.
How crazy is that?
Didn't know each other in high school and connected on social media a couple years ago, and now like
best friends.
Inseparable.
Seen too much. Seen a little TMI. But we won't get into that. That'll be another podcast episode.
For another day.
Yes. We can talk about how we met and a lot. That'll be an episode we'll do.
Will.
But I'm Lauren. I'm Lauren Mayer, and I am a school teacher currently right now. I teach honors algebra and pre-algebra. So I'm working with 8th graders right now, and it's an adjustment. I used to teach high school, so it's a little different. I've been teaching for 6 years, and I'm a mom of a toddler. I have a 2-year-old little boy. He's crazy. He keeps me on my toes. He is the absolute reason why I am talking to you today, because he has sparked something in me that, man, I'm just going after it. I had my kid. He came out, and life just started going insane. And that will be a different topic later as to kind of how I got to where I am after having that. But you guys, he seriously is the reason why I'm here talking to you. But I am... you said something else. Oh, I'm married. Duh. I was like, you said something. I was like, she's married. I was like, oh, I have to remember to say I'm married too. I love my husband to pieces. My husband is, his name's Nick, and we've been married for almost 3 years. Our anniversary is actually November 14th.
Wow.
Which is coming up. Today it's November 1st, by the way, if you're listening. But yeah, our anniversary is November 14th. So that's just a little bit about us. And so we're going to dive into really what this podcast is about. So if you guys are listening or watching, we are reading a book called The Atomic Habits. I think it's just called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And the reason that we are reading, listening, however you want to consume the information, the reason that we are focusing on this book is because we're trying to work towards big goals, and we really need systems in our lives daily that are getting us there.
Yep. And I feel like I can attest to this because, and for some of you listening or watching, this may be your very first podcast episode that you've ever watched. And I can relate to that in so many ways because for a really long time, I had the mindset that personal development was for people who needed help, was for people who, weren't okay.
Yeah.
And Lauren really opened my eyes to that because personal development is for everybody.
Yes.
And I have since learned that the most successful people in the entire world use personal development every single day. And so I feel like that is one of my main reasons why I wanted to do a podcast, because I want to speak to all of you who are thinking that, what is personal development? Why do I need it? I don't really need it. Mm-hmm. Everybody can benefit from this.
Well, if you're sitting there thinking that you don't need it, my question to you is, are you perfect And that's not in a mean way at all, but like, is life seriously flawless? Like every aspect, your relationships, your health, your work life, your, whatever, is every little element of your life just set in stone? Like finances are just fabulous. Like everything's, because it's not, we're human beings. And so there's something out there for you. And this is how we kind of picked our professional or personal development professional too. But you kind of have to look at your life and say, okay, where am I kind of struggling right now? And that's how you pick your personal development book. And that's why we picked the Atomic Habits, because I think we're just trying to get more direction and how do we actually make things happen. It's nice writing a goal down on a piece of paper and getting really excited about it because I think there's big value in that.
Yes.
But I also think that it's like, cool, you got a goal. Now what you gonna do about it? Like, what are you gonna do every single day
and I think,
to get you there?
Yeah, and I think there's, we always say, are you a dreamer or are you a doer? And it's awesome to dream big. Everybody needs to dream big. But if you don't take action, then your goals will never happen. And you're not always going to be motivated.
Right. Well, that's funny because, hold on, I want to pull up on my phone because while I was listening to... I listened to it on Audible, by the way. So if you are watching or listening, you can obviously get the book off of Amazon, right? Atomic Habits, or you can get it on Audible. And I'm a person who likes to listen to books. I am not an avid reader, and I know that's just because of my priorities. I mean, that's just honestly what it boils down to.
Who you are. And for me, I do better when I am like, it's silent. I have a book and I have a pen and I can highlight things and go back over it. So I think it's just
each their own.
To each their own, exactly.
So I'll record in my notes section of my phone kind of just things that like stick out to me and I get really fired up about, and I know I just need to keep reading over and over again. So one thing that he says in the book is people think they lack motivation, but what they lack is clarity. And so I just know that talking to so many women on social media, because that's kind of what we do as health coaches when we're helping our ladies, it's usually people we meet on social media.
Right.
And they will ask both of us, how do you get so motivated to like get up in the morning and do your workouts and meal prep? And I'm like, girlfriend, I am not motivated most of the time. Most of the time I'm a tired mom who wants to bang her head against the wall because she's juggling 8,000 things.
Right.
It's not that. It's clear. What's your why? What do you want?
Yep.
What do you want?
And you have to have systems in place. And I said, I'm not a mom yet. We'll see what the cards have in store. But for me, I used to be the person who would set my alarm like literally 12 minutes before I had to leave my house. I didn't have lunches packed. I didn't get workouts in. I was lucky to brush my teeth, pick out clothes that matched, and be in my car. I did my makeup at stoplights.
Oh my God, I remember that.
I know.
That was not that long ago, you guys.
No, like a few months. Like,
seriously.
Yeah, like hot mess express. So how do you change those habits? What do you do to get yourself on a path to success? What does that look like? And you have to have that clarity.
Right. And that's where this book, I feel like, is so helpful because he's actually going to give you like tools, like, hey, or like, what am I looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Like direction or actual like how-tos. Because I don't know about you, but I've read a lot of personal development books that have been great, who've fired me up, but they don't give you the like, do this.
You're still left with that like, okay awesome, but
now what do I do?
Now what? So here's my favorite part of it. I love this, and this is something that all of you can take away from our episode. What we want you to do is make a list of everything you do during your day, from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. So, you wake up, you brush your teeth, you check your phone, whatever you do, and then at the end of the day, take that list and look it over and think about, okay, was this a good habit, a bad habit, or a neutral habit is how he explains it.
Yeah.
And, neutral that's things like waking up.
I think it was like brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a positive habit, but like, I mean, I hope.
please brush your teeth.
I hope everybody does that. I don't know. Just like the mundane things that like just keep you alive. Like, that kind of stuff is neutral. But like, like he gives some like negative examples, like let's say you get home from work and you watch TV for like 2 hours. You could probably be doing something else with that amount of time, like maybe exercising or prepping some meals, or I mean, it doesn't even have to be health related. It could be like doing some personal development or starting a new business and working towards that.
Or, if your goals are to strengthen relationships, maybe you are spending quality time with the people that you love, or with your kids, or with, anybody in your life. So
yeah, that's one thing that I loved, is that he gives you tools to actually take action on. Another thing that I liked, he said, too often we convince ourselves massive success requires massive action. If you get, and then so what that means is like, in order to have, let's say you have this giant goal. Let's say you want to lose 100 pounds. Like, let's just use that. That's an easy example. You want to lose 100 pounds, right? That's a massive freaking goal. And people think you have to do these massive things to get there. And it's like, no, wake up, eat a healthy breakfast.
Yep. And I liked the example he used about the woman who was literally lost 100 pounds by asking herself, would a healthy person do this?
Right.
Or what would a healthy person do? And it's almost like you change your identity to become that person. So even if your goal is to lose 100 pounds, if every time you make a choice, you're thinking, is this what a healthy person would do? You will eventually become that person. So whatever aspect of your life you want to improve, you need to picture your best self.
Yeah.
What does that person do? What do they wear? Where do they shop?
What do they eat? Who do they hang out with? How do they feel? And I think that even relates to like my students. Okay, so I'm a math teacher and I get this literally all the time. Like, I'm not a math person. And my parents will even come in to conferences and tell me that they're not math people, so their kids aren't math people. That is an identity that they have given to themselves because they keep telling themselves that they're not good at math. And that's actually not the truth. And that can be applied to anything. It's like, well, why don't we change the way we view it? So why doesn't, when your kid or you help them with math, say, what would a person who's really good at math do? Well, they'd probably go, I don't know, research something. They're problem solvers. They would go on YouTube. I mean, it's a mindset thing.
Yep. And for me, when I was spending, 12 minutes getting ready for work and brushing my teeth and doing makeup in the car, I was not a morning person.
Right.
Well,
there you go.
Guess what? That's an identity. That's what I told myself. When my alarm would go off and I would reach for the snooze button, I was reminding myself every day, I'm not a morning person. I'm not a morning person. So you need to start telling yourself, I'm a morning person. I'm going to get up. A healthy person would work out before school or before work.
Yeah.
A successful person would do her makeup in the bathroom.
Not driving and almost running people off the road.
I never did that, you guys. But you have to have that positive identity that you want to become.
So the big thing he says that I love is just get 1% better every day. And I know you, like, people listening, that is so easy, you guys. 1%, that's changing one teeny tiny thing. And he actually gets into the nitty gritty later about how to do that and how to be like super specific. About how to make this 1 degree switch every single day. So I can't wait to talk about that. But that's later. We're not going to get into that today.
But here's something to kind of leave you with is that, you have a choice whether you want to get 1% better every day or whether you want to get 1% worse every day.
Oh, sorry. Hey, this is our first episode. It's in my living room. My husband's getting ready in his bedroom. But you guys, this should be a prime example to you is you can't, there's a lot of perfectionists that are probably going to be listening to this. You cannot wait to do something that you love and are so passionate about until things are perfect.
No.
Things are not, this is not the perfect podcast episode.
No.
We don't have professional equipment. We're in my house. Like, this is not, we could have waited until we could afford professional equipment and afford somebody to edit all of our videos and do all of that to start. But then it's like, why?
Yep. And I think if you continue listening to this podcast, the one takeaway that you will have is that we are always going to be real.
Yeah, always. For sure. That's what you can expect.
Always going to be real.
Yeah, and I like to think that in our coaching, it's like we love you, but we're not going to enable.
Yep.
That's how I am when I'm coaching, and that's how I am as a teacher. And I think that's what you can expect from our episodes. It's like we love you, but we're also going to shoot it to you straight.
Yep.
So,
and we're going to together be the best that we can possibly be.
Yep.
One habit at a time. One atomic habit at a time.
All right, guys, thank you so much for listening. We will record our next episode and have that out to you. We're going to do one like once a week, so you can expect that from us. And we will be covering some of the chapters that we are reading throughout our journey through the Atomic Habits. And we are so grateful that you guys watched this. And
we'll see you next week.
See ya. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks.